Hi, everybody. It's me again, Charles Norman, Sports Solutions LLC. We are the creators of Athletic SOS. And I want to tell you what Athletic SOS is first, because this won't be about the software. The software will allow you as a parent or a student athlete, if you want to get an athletic scholarship, you can use our software based on your academic information, the sport you play, the level you believe you can participate at the collegiate level. And we will show you all of the schools that you academically qualify to attend that have your sport at your level, and they offer athletic scholarship opportunities. So you'll discover way more colleges than you thought, and you'll know that you qualify academically. Now, we are 1 year behind. We get the information a year later, but for the most part, it's going to put you in the ballpark of, hey, I can go to this school. I qualify for this school. Or I didn't know this school even existed. And so we're trying to change the way you go about trying to get an athletic scholarship. Yes, you're a great athlete. We know you're going to combines and showcases and viewing tournaments and all those things, hoping to get discovered. But what if you knew the school that you wanted to go to? You know they offer athletic scholarships for your sport. Then that changes how you approach everything that you're going to do. You're going to tell them where you're going to be. You're going to have your high school coach reach out for you if they're willing to do that, or your travel club coach, or you may have to do it yourself. We show you how to do that inside the software. But the goal is to go ahead and do that traditional route where you're trying to get discovered, you're playing your best, you're doing all the things you're supposed to do, because I don't think you can buck that system. I know a lot of people are trying to work around that, but I think you're going to have to go along with that for right now because you don't have a lot of time if you're in high school. But also have some schools in your back pocket that you're like, hey, I'd like to go here if I can get in here. And even if you're working with a recruiting agency, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to say, hey, I already know these are the schools that I want to go to. If you really are about what you're saying you're about, get me in one of those schools, because you can pay them. College is ridiculously expensive to me. It's just, and it's one of the things that I always struggle with, because I'm encouraging you guys to go ahead and keep playing and go play at a college, but most of you will not get a full ride scholarship. And so what do we do about that? I don't want you coming out of school with 30, 60, 80. I've had kids with up to $300,000 in debt. And we've got kids that go, and in their junior year, they drop out, and they've already accumulated all this money, and you can't get out of that debt. It stays with you. And even if you get a job, a pretty good job, the amount of interest that's on top of your loan that you took out to go to this school, to get this education, you'll be paying that until you're 56. I know people in my age group that are still paying on their student loans. I know people that took off those four from 2020 to 2023, whenever they did the pause, they paused, and the interest accumulates. So I don't want you saddled with that, because you're starting off on the wrong foot. So we want to get you as close to going to school at no cost as possible. Okay, so I don't want to go too far down the line on that. We'll talk about that more and more as we move through, but it does bother me, because I'm telling you guys how to get an athletic scholarship, and you guys don't know the little things about getting an athletic scholarship that can still leave you in pretty bad shape financially if you don't do it the right way. So in this one, I want to get started. I told you guys last week, hey, we're moving. I'm trying to get Athletic SOS in all the different places I can. I'm working with some great companies, some great people, and they're going to take care of Athletic SOS in a lot of ways. But I always tell you guys, we're not going to wait for somebody else to get us where we want to go in life. I don't have time to wait for these other people to move forward, because they're worried about their own companies just as much as they are mine. Mine is on the back burner. They love the software. It makes a big difference for what they're trying to do. I can help them out a lot, but I'm not the priority for them. So if I want to be the priority for my company, for my family, for my people that are working with me and for me, then I got to go myself too. I got to do two things at the same time. And so one of the things that we're saying is with Athletic SOS, with Sports Solutions, where we're going to leverage your athletic ability to make sure that you can lead a remarkable life. And what that remarkable life is up to you. But I want to get you started on this process. And so that's why I'm really excited today. I've got one of the products that I'm going to start with. Now, I don't want to start a clothing company, but I got to figure out a way to tell you guys, hey, these are the kind of people. Remember, I told you part of your journey is to find the right set of really cool people that you're going to work with, and maybe you'll work with them later in life. Remember, I talked about that before. So one of the pieces to that is understanding that you're an athlete, and that's like a key component to what we're trying to do. And so I just got these sweatshirts in. and they're hooded sweaties, and it says athlete and Hawk Mindset is going to be the website. It's up now. It's kind of, I got somebody else working on it for me because I'm trying to do some more stuff with Athletic SOS, so I haven't had time to really get into it. But this just came in, and I couldn't be more thrilled. And the people that I worked with, Mark McNaught from, hold on, let me get the name exactly right. So the company I'm working with is Sea Oceans, and the owner of that company, or the co-founder of that company, is Mark McNaught. Fascinating guy, but he's got this great proprietary way of creating these sweatshirts. They make everything from the fabric for the sweatshirt, super soft on the inside and the outside, and then their embroidery process is completely unique. So I went into this, I don't know anything about creating, t-shirts and stuff, and we got 1 million people here that could do that in my area, and people that I know that would love to have done it. But I was looking for something different. I don't want to create something that everyone else has created. And so I was searching, and I saw Mark's story, because I go down a rabbit hole when I'm researching something. And so I wanted to find something unique. I wanted to do embroidery. I know it was very expensive to do embroidery. It'd be easier to just do a screen print or a puff print or something like that. But I want to do embroidery. But every time I've seen embroidery, they always have on the inside, they have that piece of cloth inside of the embroidery, and it's kind of scratchy and itchy, right? You don't really want that, especially on a t-shirt. Even though this is a sweatshirt and I have a shirt under it, it's not quite as big a deal, but I wanted something special. And so Mark has done that. Like I said, they make their own fibers, and some of this is recycled product plastics and other materials that they recycle. So Mark, his story, which is interesting to me because we had this long conversation when I realized how much it costs to get his stuff done, and the numbers you have to do, because he works with major corporations. He works with really high-end luxury type of people that are doing leisure athlete wear type of thing. And so we're talking, but he's telling me his story. He created this. He's a surfer, and he's out in San Diego, California. His company's out there, and you guys can look him up. And he sold his first company. Him and his buddies got together. They're surfer guys, and they built this cool clothing company, right? From years ago. He's in my age now. And so they sold it out, and so he made so much money on that sale that he basically could have just coasted through the rest of his life. But being a surfer, wanting to be in nature and around the beach, he's just a nature guy. And so he wanted to do something to solve some of the problems with waste, and something on the ecological standpoint. And so he took his money, the money that would just let him live this great leisure life, and he invested it in trying to figure out how can we recycle some of this stuff and make the fabric soft and not scratchy and itchy or feel kind of like it's recycled something. And he's pulled that off. But the interesting thing about his story is, we were talking on the phone, he was saying how he got caught. It was before the major companies were willing to spend the extra money because they wanted to have a green footprint. And he sort of stayed in the game long enough to where that came to be, and now he's prospering again. But it took a while, and he risked his own money. Nobody else wanted to go in this with him. So they got special machines and then there's special processes that only he does. It's unique to him. It's all proprietary. But the story of him taking his own money for something he believed in and almost blowing it, he was a little bit afraid himself as part of this journey he was on, because nobody else wanted to go with him. They're telling him, what are you doing? Nobody's going to pay that much money for a garment when they could get it over here, and it looks almost the same. But these are heirloom qualities. These things will last forever. And it's just, this is the way I want you guys to think about life. And so what we've done is I've created this. It's athlete and. This is our beginning. Parents, coaches, whoever you are, the athletes in your life, what is their and? And so how do I make sure you guys know there's somebody else like that is doing it? I created the sweatshirt. I'm going to do some t-shirts and stuff with lower price. But this particular original one, and I just got these in, so I'm actually kind of thrilled. And this is a medium size. This is a extra large. I wear a large. You can see this is too big for me, but I just want to grab one and have it on instead of just showing in the package. But so if you're going to buy one, you're going to buy the size, and I will have it ready, and I'll have it on the website in the next week or two, and then I'll put a link in this one. But if you guys are interested, just write me at info@athleticsos.com, and then I will send you a link so you can go and buy it, because this one's going to be unique. This is me. You see this charcoal gray? They wanted to do it in black. It would have been a little bit cheaper, or some other colors, but I want the charcoal gray because this is why I don't wear anything name brand ever. my wife always laughs about it. I mean, with the logo on it, I do, you know, maybe some brands, but I don't like things with logos on it. And so I feel a little bit like a hypocrite here because this is branding, right? But this is so you guys can recognize each other. I don't want to be in your way. I don't want to say, oh, buy my stuff and you can do this. But this allows you, if you're wearing this and you see someone else wearing this, they get where we're trying to go. That and, but do not wear this sweatshirt if you don't have your and in place, right? So that is where we're trying to go with this thing. And I got some other cool stuff that's coming too, but this was just, I got all these boxes in my living room. My wife's looking at me side-eyed again. What are you doing? I thought you were software, and everyone gets on my case about stuff, but I have to move forward on what I'm trying to pull off here. And this is the beginning of it for me. And I've got some other stuff going on now. Don't get that twisted. So when we're saying athlete, and this is where we want to have all of our young athletes, and the ones that I have now, I'm only going to do about 300 of these. So this is the first order that came in. So I started with small, adult small, medium, large, extra large, double extra large. I think I have a couple of triple extra larges. And so I revealed these last week at the teams conference I went to. And somebody came to the booth and we just talked this past week and they bought all the smalls. So all the smalls are gone. Now I'm not going to do that anymore with the mediums and everything. I'm going to put those on the website. But there aren't any smalls, but I'll make one more order once these get sold out. And I'm going to put a little bit of a premium on these because I'm going to do a couple other things with these because I'm just getting started. You guys may have just met me, you just saw me on this website, on this YouTube video. And you're trying to figure out, do I trust this person or are they really who they say they are? So I got to give you some incentive to come with me because I'm going to take this money and I want to do some other things. I want to buy some land. I want to do some other things. And so what I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to give you guys, if you purchase this charcoal gray with this print on it, it's a little bit more subtle than what we're going to do later on. I'm also going to give you 5 licenses for Athletic SOS. And I know I'm going to give you a code even in this video that you can use Athletic SOS, but it doesn't give you what we call academic only. So if your kid is looking to get an athletic scholarship, you can just use the free code down below. Nobody's blocking you. You can use the code. It will let you use the software. There's no cost. There's nothing you have to worry about. It's all there. But we have another version of this. This is more for institutions and organizations, and it's called academic only. And the reason I created that was because we were working with a lot of high schools, and the high school coaches were telling us, hey, a lot of these kids aren't going to go and play at the next level, and a lot of them don't want to go to college. They may want to go to trade schools or something like that. So I created a little check box in there that says academic only. If you check that, you'll also see federally accredited trade schools, 2-year colleges, 4-year colleges. And so I wanted to make sure that we could help every single kid to use the software. The version I give you here, the code that I give you down below, that will give you, if you're trying to get an athletic scholarship, then you want to use that code, and it's great for you. You'll still find the stuff that you need. So anyway, I'll give you 5 of those licenses if you purchase one of these. And then the other thing that's going to happen is after I do the next order, I'm never going to do the charcoal gray again, and I'm never going to do this sort of print on the front of it. It's a little bit more subtle. It's something that I wear. I wear clothes. If I'm going to wear something like this, it's for me. When I put it on, I know I have it on. And so I move in the world a certain way, but I'm not going to do this. This is who I am. And there's some others really excited. They can do some really great, vibrant colors with all this stuff. So I'm probably going to move more towards that for the younger people to go with. But if you get this setup that I have right now, and I don't think I'm going to do more than 2 orders of it, and I'm not going to say never, but I don't plan on ever doing this again. And so if you have this one, and we throw our own events, which is something else I'm trying to work on, I will have a special VIP line for you guys. You guys will be able to get in a little faster than everyone else. I don't know what else I can give with that, but I'm going to give you the 5 licenses with academic only as part of, the regular software. And I will make sure that everyone that is wearing this to one of our events or brings it with them, you have to have the sweatshirt, not the t-shirt, not the other things we're doing. I'm going to create a special line for you guys, and you guys will be able to come in. I'm not going to say a special food or drinks or anything like that. Give me some time to get there, but I will make an effort to make sure, because there's going to be a limited number of these. Okay, so that's it for that. So what is the whole idea about this with the athlete and because one of the things we did is we started with the high school kids, right, when we first started Athletic SOS. So I'm going back around now, and I'm going to go and start working with the younger kids, that 5 to 9 group, the 10 to 12 group, and 13 plus. And so I want the adults that are in the same world thinking the same way I am. So in the software, we're starting to add a section in there now where I want the travel club programs, the high school programs, everybody that you work with, all the event organizers. I want you guys to start saying, hey, not only are you guys coming here for this event, but we also have this other thing going on, and here we just want to let you know. And you'll be able to do it inside the software. So anybody that's using Athletic SOS will see, oh, for this club team or this camp or this viewing tournament or whatever it is, anybody that's using our software as part of that, we're also having an early morning workout or things you should know about nutrition, or we're going to have a social hour, or we're going to do whatever it is you want to do that's extra. I want to get these kids meeting each other. I want them to get around other people that want to go the extra mile. And then those are the kids that are going to, as they move through this whole process, hopefully they go, they play high school, they have a great career, they play college, great career, they get to the pros, make a bunch of money. That's all cool. I hope that for everyone going out. But what's beyond that? What are we thinking beyond that? And what you want to do is you want to meet, you want to get around, you want to be a part of other groups of people that are thinking like you, that are moving like you. You want to catch them early before they've already started taking off, and then you're going to be connected with them, and they see that you're about that too, and then now you guys are coming together with the right group of people. It doesn't mean you have to wear this shirt or this sweatshirt. I mean, it's just a way for us to acknowledge each other, and I got some other stuff that I'm going to show in the clothing, but I don't really want to start a clothing line. I really don't. But I do want to generate some money, and I'm going to do some other things, and I'm going to throw some events, and we're going to do some cool stuff as we move forward. And I hope you guys are willing to move forward with me. And I'm showing you guys that you can't wait. You can't have this idea in your head about what you're going to do. You have to go out and do it. It's going to cost you money. This bled me to be able to pull this off. And you want to do something special. I didn't want to get an ordinary sweatshirt. I didn't want to get an ordinary embroidery. I could have done that very easily. But if you're going to go, you're going to do it, go ahead and do it. And so you're going to have some other people with you. You're not going to be able to pull all this off on your own. And I can't do it. I've got people helping with the software now that I have no way right now of paying them. But they're doing it anyway because they see that I'm doing stuff. There's companies that I'm talking to that have no reason to talk to me. Even Mark, you know, as we were talking, he goes, Charles, you got to buy this many of these for it to even work for me. Otherwise, it's not worthwhile. I have to charge you too much per unit for you to even be able to sell them. And so we worked and worked, and he finally worked me in between something he was already doing, and he got them to go ahead and run these for me on top of that. And that's because I just kept working at it, and I made sure that if he said okay, I was ready to go, even if it hurt me and cost me. That's what you have to do. You're going to have to put yourself in some pressure. You don't get to win every time. I guess that's the best way to put this. You're going to have to take some chances on yourself, and you're going to get caught. You're going to lose sometimes. Things won't come out quite the way you want, and then you get up and you do it again. But if you're working with a group of people that are thinking like you, that want this to happen anyway, no problem. You'll be able to get up. You'll be able to keep moving because you know you're not alone. And I think that's a big thing, because entrepreneurship is a lonely thing, but playing sports is a lonely thing. You could be on a whole team, but when you get in the car, when you go home, when you're laying in the bed at night, you're by yourself. And so you need some people in your life that you can pick up that phone and call and go, hey, what are you guys thinking? You know, I had a bad game today, or things didn't go well. Coach is on my case and I'm doing the best I can. Whatever is going on in your life, then you need some people around you like that. So you want to be able to recognize who those people are a little bit easier, other than you have to say something or try to dig into every person that you meet. Sometimes it might just help out. This might be a way of doing it. And so I'm hoping that is there. So they're not for sale right this minute, but I did tell you guys last week I was going to start revealing some of the things that I'm trying to do. And next week I'm going to come up with some another thing that's pretty cool. I got those in too. And so I'm moving. And so I've invested in you guys and in myself and for my family. And it's very interesting because now that I'm talking to some bigger players, everybody wants to invest in it. So I said, just let me do the best I can right now and see where I go. You keep what you have. Let's just work together. But it's very hard for people when they see that you're doing something, that you're positive, that you're moving forward. Everybody wants to be a part of it. But 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, I couldn't get anybody to take a phone call from me. And so it's not that I'm trying to get them, but I want you guys to do what I'm doing. And so I have to stay true to what I told you guys. I'm going to try to build this as internal as I can for my family. I want to build something. They don't have to go into exactly my world, but I want to be able to open doors. Or I want my grandson to be able to pick up the phone and call somebody and say, hey, my granddad told me to give you a call. Here's what I'm trying to do. And they're going to go, oh, Charles's I want you guys to do the same thing. I want your kids to be able to call my kids. And so if you're thinking about anything, and it doesn't have to stay in sports, that's the other thing I wanted to kind of talk about on this. I've had an opportunity to be in the room with some really top names. You would know all those names. They played in NFL, NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, soccer. They've been in the Olympics. They've been everywhere. And they're still finding a spot inside of sports. They're still, because that's their world, where they came from. And so, and I can see the frustration because there's so many. There's more people coming in every year, and their ability to get attention is easier because of social media. So the people that came before, and I'm not saying necessarily household names, but they had pretty good careers, but their careers weren't superstar careers, I guess is the best way to put it. And so for them, it's more of a struggle. So they're trying to find companies to connect with and where they can use their celebrity of being a former professional athlete or a former Olympic athlete or former college athlete, and they're trying to leverage that. And I see what they're trying to do. But I always say the same thing when I'm in there. If you do this right, people shouldn't even know you played in the NFL or professional or college. It shouldn't be an issue, I will say. They should know you played. If they look you up, they can find that out. But what is your and? What is something you're going to go off and do later on? I think that is where you can look and say, okay, I've done it my way. This is what I want to do. And it may be you want to stay in the sports world. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but have something else that within that world that you can branch out to and is yours. And you're not asking somebody to allow you to do something or get you in the door or do this or do that, that you go, hey, I'm bringing this value. You want me in that door. You want me in that room with you. You want me on your program, on your team, or part of what you're doing, because here's what I'm bringing to that event or something. So anyway, that's kind of where we're going with this. So sweatshirt, I was really excited. I ended up putting on an extra large. I should have just got a large, but this is the one I could grab. I wanted to get out here early this morning because I got to go back and do some work on the software. And I just want to kind of get out here and do this video. And I guess to me, it's a feeling of satisfaction that I actually got this done, because I knew nothing about all of this. I was just going to get some regular embroidery, and I was trying to figure out how do I get that white piece of cloth they have behind it for the t-shirts. And that's why I kind of got started. I go, but that's going to be itchy. It's going to be scratchy. And they were telling me, you won't feel it, or just wear a shirt underneath it and all that. And I decided, hey, I'm going to do my own brand. I didn't want to buy somebody else's shirts and have them printed on. I want to get my own brand. So you'll look in the tag, it'll say Hawk Mindset. So I said I wanted to do that way. I didn't have the funding, the revenue to do that, work on the software, go to all these events I'm going to, but I found a way. Because if you really want to do something, you're going to find a way. So I had to take on some extra work, and I had to do some extra things for people to get some income in, because this is what I want to do over here. And those are the sacrifices you're going to make. Nobody's giving you anything, guys. I don't know how to emphasize that anymore. You're going to have to go, and you're going to have to go get it. And then if you're going to go and do all that work to go get it, don't go and get it so somebody else can hire you. Go and get it so that you can build your own empire. And it doesn't have to be this big, giant empire. What we're really trying to do is say, I want to live a remarkable life. What does that mean to you? What do you get up in the morning and you get to do because you want to do it? You got some work to do over here and there, but you put that early work in, and now you're going to get it. It could be you go to school, get your degree, and go work for somebody, and that's happy for you. You make a good salary, and then that's the way you want to live your life. You can do that. But if that's all you're going to do, then you got to remember you're going to have a very difficult time helping the people that are coming behind you. Because the only thing you can tell them is, hey, I did it this way. This worked for me. This is how we had this life. You go do the same thing. And now they're going to be waiting for somebody to say, okay, how many people do you guys see right now that are sending out their resumes, and they're on all these different sites and nobody's really hiring because they got to wait? How many people do you know that did everything exactly right? Went to school, got good grades, went to the best schools, learned their craft and everything, because I see it in the technical field. A lot of people that I know, and they're getting laid off. Automation's coming. AI's coming. I know they're going to try to slow it down. I know they're going to try to make you feel better. It can't take over human beings. It can't do what we say it can do, but it can do enough. It can get close enough to where they don't need you to come in. And maybe they'll give you something, some universal basic income or whatever everybody's talking about. Maybe that'll come. But will that be enough for you? Maybe it will. I don't know. I don't know who everybody is, but for those of you that this makes sense to, you're going to have to build your own world out here. And so you can still parallel and go what the regular route is, but you may have to do something extra. You may have to not watch the games this weekend. You may have to, stay up a little bit late at night. You may have to do some extra work on side, little side gig to build some money, but have a plan, put a plan in place. But I'm going to recommend that if you're going to do all that, work with some other people. And that way it's not so much pressure on you, because it's a lot going on in this world. And maybe it's a family member, maybe somebody that will work with you, but they don't have the idea, or you have the idea, or maybe they have the idea and you don't have the ideas. Go work with them. Go help them out. Along the way, you're going to see something. You're going to see something and go, hey, wait a minute. I know we're doing this over here, but this needs to be plugged in too. I can do this part. This is something I can do on my own. And you'll start nickel and diming with it and playing around with it, and you'll build your own thing that way. But you got to get involved. You got to have the mindset that that's what you want to do, and it's all there. And so this is for young people, and this is for you guys that are older, that you're trying to do something. Sometimes you have to take a step back. Maybe you got into this big giant thing and now it's kind of unwieldy. It's not going the way you wanted to go. Maybe you got to take a step back and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to branch out over here. I'm going to still work with them. I told them I was going to do all this other stuff, but I'm going to branch out over here and try to build something for my family too, that just kind of on the side. I'm not going to do less for them, but I'm just going to have to do extra so I can get my stuff going too. That's another way of pulling this off. So anyway, I know I go down these rabbit holes on stuff, but I want that remarkable life thing for everybody. That I wake up in the morning, like I get up early in the morning to come do this, and my wife goes, "What are you excited about today? Your video. You must have something good you want to talk about." And I was so into the fact that these boxes came. I got a bunch of boxes in my house right now. I got to figure out what I'm going to do with them all. But it's just me. I know I'm moving forward, even though some things may not go right. Next week or last week or whatever's going on. I know I'm moving forward. I know I'm just doing what I want to do. And I know you guys are going to have to help me out with this, because I'm going to sell these. They're going to be a little pricey, so everybody can't buy them. But I am going to give you the 5 licenses, right, with the academic only attached to it. So you can give those to whoever you want to. You can keep them for yourself, however you guys want to use those. And then I am going to create a VIP, and I am going to do some events. And I already know some of the things I want to do. And I do want to open up my own building with some stuff that I want to do for that vision training and oxygen training, some really cool stuff, the cutting edge stuff that nobody else is doing as part of your training. And I will make sure that if you own this shirt, I know you came with me early on. I'm only going to, like I said, I probably only do 2 runs. I'm not going to say absolutely that's what I do. It just depends on, a lot of people that didn't get in or how many I'm going to, I see the demand for them. I may do 1 more set, but I don't want to do too many of this setup, because I want to create that VIP experience for the ones that rock with me early on. And I'm going to charge a little bit more for these than I am for the ones that are coming. So don't get too carried away. The price is going to be a little bit elevated on these, but I'm telling you, these are heirloom qualities, are well made. The guy who made them, they made the actual fabric. They have a proprietary way of doing this embroidery. There's nobody else doing it like that. So look for Mark McNaught, McNaught. Go ahead and look for him if you want to do something like that for yourself. And also it's C Oceans, SEA, and then Oceans, OCEANS. And if you guys want to do so, take some business to him. I don't get anything out of that. He's just a cool guy. And I enjoyed working with him. I'm going to be working with him in the future too on some cool stuff that we're trying to do. But he helped me out and he didn't have to. And I got some other people like that. As I start showing these products and stuff, because I want to show you my Christmas gift for everybody that I am recommending. I'm going to show you that. That's another cool guy that I want you guys to be introduced to. And you guys go give them some business and keep them going on what they're trying to do too. All right, guys. As always, best of luck to you in all your endeavors. Down below, I give you the code to Athletic SOS. I give you instructions on how to use the code. And I have a little link down there that shows you like a 1-minute how Athletic SOS kind of works so you can see it. But also, once you use that code and you go in, that video is also inside as you're starting to register yourself to use the software. It's fantastic software. Do not sleep. We're already in the fall. Football season's going. All the fall sports are going right now. Don't be left out waiting until next year because you think you have something going already. Make sure that you know what schools you want to go to and reach out to them in addition to all the other stuff that you're doing. You want to combine that. Don't sit and wait, people. That we're not doing that anymore. You can't afford to do it anymore. 2020, the world changed. You cannot sit and wait to be chosen. You're going to have to let people know you exist, where you are, and you still got to do that hard work, that you're worth their effort. And you want to be able to say, hey, you want me over there because I've done all the work and I'm ready to go and I've done what I need to do. And so they'll see that in you as a proactive person. And so that's how we're going to move forward. All right. Talk to you guys next week.